From the top floor of the gleaming skyscraper in downtown Chicago, Evelyn Carter watched through her glass office walls as the janitor moved swiftly and silently, mop in hand, back curved from years of quiet labor. She'd stayed late to finalize a billion-dollar merger. He was finishing another 12-hour shift, yet he smiled as he scrubbed coffee stains off a boardroom floor. Something about him tugged at her. Maybe it was the way he nodded kindly at everyone, even those who barely noticed him. Maybe it was the odd moment she caught him gently fixing a lopsided picture frame in the hallway or picking up a forgotten scarf and placing it neatly on the lobby desk. His badge read, Miguel Duran. But no one really saw Miguel. Until that night. Evelyn had built Carter Tech from scratch. She was known as sharp, ruthless even, an icon of self-made success. But lately, success felt hollow. Her friends were strategic allies. Her penthouse echoed with silence. And her father, the only one who ever believed in her, had passed away the year before. She often stayed late, not because she had to, but because going home felt lonelier than the boardroom. So when she saw Miguel again, whistling softly, stuffing cracked gloves into a fraying backpack, curiosity overruled reason. On a whim, she followed him. She changed into sneakers, pulled on a hoodie, and trailed behind as he exited the parking garage. He didn't drive. He walked, fast, purposeful. The November wind was biting, but he didn't seem to feel it. 40 minutes later, he ducked into an old church downtown. Evelyn hesitated, peering through a broken stained glass window. What she saw made her breath catch. Miguel was surrounded by children. Not his. Dozens of them. Kids of all sizes, bundled in mismatched clothes, their eyes lighting up as he handed out bags of food, old books, and coats. Then he pulled out a guitar, sat on the edge of the altar, and began to sing. Spanish lullabies. Silly songs. Songs that made the kids laugh until their eyes watered. And then, songs that made them fall asleep in tired heaps on the wooden pews. The priest, an elderly man, whispered to Evelyn as she stood frozen in the shadows. He comes here every night after work. Spends everything he has to take care of them. Says he was one of them once, and he won't let them feel forgotten. But how does he afford it? Evelyn asked, stunned. He doesn't, the priest replied gently. He just gives, and trusts that somehow, it'll be enough. Evelyn left with her heart aching. She didn't sleep that night. The next day, instead of her usual 7 a.m. strategy meeting, she showed up at the janitorial closet. Miguel looked up, startled. Miss Carter? Did I miss a spot? She smiled. You missed a lot, actually. And then she offered him a cup of coffee, and a seat at the executive table. In the weeks that followed, Evelyn transformed. She created the Carter Kindness Initiative with Miguel at the helm, funding shelters, food drives, after-school programs across the city. Miguel didn't want recognition. He still rode the train. Still wore old boots. But now, every child in that church had a warm bed. And every janitor, cleaner, and overlooked soul in the company got a letter from the CEO herself, thanking them. 6 months later, Evelyn stood in front of the entire company. She looked out at her staff, her voice shaking. I used to think success was about numbers. Power. Winning. But then I followed a janitor. And I found a man richer than any of us, because he gave even when he had nothing left to give. He reminded me that leadership isn't about being first. It's about lifting others when they're about to fall. And from the back of the room, Miguel clapped quietly. Tears in his eyes. Because for the first time in his life, someone had followed him. And seen the worth he never asked to be acknowledged. This isn't just a story about a CEO or a janitor. It's about what happens when we pay attention. When we choose kindness over convenience. When we look beyond titles and truly see each other. Because sometimes, the ones cleaning up after us are the very ones who hold the power to change us.